sometimes I think that we forget about how God loves us. And we forget what he's done, and we forget who he is. And tonight, I want to remind you that when heaven met earth, it was not pretty. It was sloppy, and it was wet, and it was messy, and it turned the world upside down, and it shook up people's lives, and it caused people's deaths, and it caused nations to turn against each other, and it caused families to turn against each other, all because we forget how God loves, because we don't want it, because we think that it's going to mess up how we live. It's going to mess up what we want. It's going to mess up our plans. Well, yeah, it is. Because see, somewhere along the way, somebody told us that our lives were all about us. Who we were, who our friends were, what our job was, what kind of house we were in, what kind of car we drove, how popular we were in school. And that's not what it's about. Because when the God of the universe calls you and says, I want you, and says, I need you, when he says, I created you specifically and individually for a purpose, that's not something to be taken lightly. And it's not God's fault when you say, no, I want to do it my way. It's not God's fault when you leave him and then wonder why you're unprotected. God is calling you back tonight, saying, I made the way, I bridged the gap, I sent my only son down to take the price for your sin, for your selfishness, and I took it all so that you could have it all, so that you could know my love and my power and my passion and my strength and my joy. And even when storms come and even when things get messed up, you're still going to stand strong because you have my strength in you. God has not called us to be mediocre. He has not called us to be ordinary. He has not called us to fit in. We don't have a God who likes to stand in the background. Watch the sunset one night and you'll notice that. God's glory is all around you, and tonight he wants you to be a part of it. He wants to wrap you in his arms, and he wants to love you like never before, and he wants to do things with you and in you that you never thought possible. And yeah, sometimes it might hurt, sometimes it might mess things up, and sometimes you might lose friends over it. But I promise you that when you stand before God at the end of it all, your friends aren't going to matter anymore. The people who you were trying to impress aren't going to matter anymore. All that's going to matter is standing face to face with the God who created you, who gave everything for you. And all you're going to want to hear is, I love you, well done, welcome home. And that's all that's going to matter. Just his love. Drawn to redemption by the grace in his eyes. If his grace is an ocean, we're all sinking.